Tale of the Twisted Claw is about two boys who go out on Halloween and create a little mischief. I love that part because I rarely see that anymore, where I live anyways. In short, they go to a house that is supposedly housing a witch. It amazes me the daring of all these kids in the series, and again, it plays on the dare factor that seems to enter all these tales. That's suiting because that's what kids do. Kids are always trying to goat someone into a dare, usually something they're afraid to do themselves. So it's a strange tale, but it's also very familiar. It's essentially the tale of the monkey claw, which most people are familiar with. The Simpsons did the same thing after this, I guess, but it doesn't really matter because it's an old tale. They just switched it up with. They just said twisted claw. I think in the show though, it's supposed to be like talons of some sort of bird or something like that. But I don't know. It's fun. It's a very simplistic story. They play off old common stories, ghost stories, and things like that, which makes it enjoyable and familiar and easy to connect with. But they do it in a way that's appealing to a younger audience. But looking back on it, it's still incredibly nostalgic. And when I watch an episode like that, even though it's pretty straightforward and you kind of know what's coming, it doesn't matter. It's like watching an old rerun that you can't get enough of. I can't reiterate. I'll probably say this throughout the whole thing, but this brings me back to the way it made me feel more than the actual story itself. So, looking at Tale of the Twisted Monkey Claw, that's what I think. Pretty sure they did it first. But anyways, stories like this are what makes myths like that legend, The lesson here, besides the supernatural aspect of the story, is that there's always consequences to your actions. They did initiate the conflict with her by spraying her in the face, which she took rather well in my opinion. I'd also like to add that the witch, I'm presuming she's a witch, that it was not overly malicious. She, in the end, I think actually gave them perspective. So the wishes did all turn out to be true, or they came true, but it was all through what they referred to as, evil means type of thing, which kind of raises like moral dilemmas in a way. I guess that's the point of the monkey claw. Be careful what you wish for type of thing. There's another episode that I'm going to be using that later on for. But do the ends justify the means? So they get what they want, but not how they wanted it. And I think that's the point of the story. Now, the claw disappears at the end. They make the proper wish to, sorry, spoiler again, but again, this is like a 25-year-old season at least. So they erase all the wishes at the end. And so everything's back to normal and things like that. So really, I look at the witch as someone that kind of taught them a lesson and bolstered their maturity into realizing that things have to be earned and not just simply given to you. Was it a tale of revenge? I don't see the maliciousness in her necessarily. I think she put it in their court to kind of try to make the right decision. And in the end they did, realizing, what they had at the moment was good enough, and maybe wishing to win a race isn't the cost of a dog running out to hurt somebody just isn't worth it. So I guess that's the moral dilemma. So in the end, the witch probably helped him out in the long run in terms of maturity. Whatever other deeper meaning you want to derive from this episode is up to the viewer. All I can say is that, although it's not the most intense episode and the week is so far in our marathon, but there are a few lessons that could be learned. And remember, be careful what you wish for. It may just come true.